Disclaimer. The views expressed in this podcast are our personal opinions and do not necessarily reflect those of our significant others, families, or employers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out.
What's going on? Welcome back to the Friendly Fade podcast. This is episode 21. We are your hosts, Reem the Dream and Nubs. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a banger. Kareem, just like any other week, we got a lot of stuff to go over here, and I'm actually pretty excited about this one that we're about to discuss because we have, 5 great topics here, and we've kind of been in the background shooting the shit a little bit when it comes to these topics. So it's nice to finally get on the pod and discuss it and kind of bring these topics to the audience because, we've kind of been slacking. And just FYI, if you guys are looking for someone to point the finger at, it's your boy over there on the other side. That's Reem the Dream, man. My dog been hella busy, been neglecting his own goddamn podcast. But you know what? We're here now. It's about damn time. Tell the audience about a little bit of what you got going on, man. Because usually you're like, when it comes to this podcast shit, you're like on my ass on it, and lately it's like, you've got shit going on in the background. So I'm interested to hear what's been going on.
Yeah, bro. Life's been busy, as you said. I've been doing a lot. And I'm not purposely neglecting. I'm just trying. No, I know, but I'm just trying to use my time wisely. It's just sometimes it's tough, man. Because of, like I said, everything going on right now. And obviously we'll speak on it in a couple weeks once everything's finalized. Just working on a couple things right now. And like I said, pretty soon I can finally talk about it. Just don't want to speak on it too soon. I'm just that, superstitious in that way. So I prefer to just keep it a little hush hush until everything's good to go. But yeah, man, either way, bro, we will make the time for sure in the future. And I'll start creating or better patterns and kind of a better schedule and managing my time a little bit better. But as with that, my schedule is gonna be a little more freed up either way, so that's gonna make it a little easier for me. But yeah, though, these topics, man, that we have on the docket for today, I'm excited. There's been a lot going on with basically in pop culture, sports, everything, bro. It's been popping. It's been some interesting stuff going on in this world. We live in strange times, my friend. That's the best way I can kind of put it. So creates more topics for us to discuss. So I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it. But take it over to you, man. Leave it over to you. Go ahead and get it started.
Okay. No, man. First and foremost, I think I'm gonna have to invest in that same webcam that you got going on, because I look like I'm in 1080p and you look like you're in like fucking 8K, bro. There's something going on here. Like that disparity is crazy, bro. Look at that. My dog looking that's super HD right there, bro. I'm kind of jealous, and it's crazy because we've done so many episodes, and it's like I'm noticing how big of a difference it is. So it's funny, but whatever, man. It is what it is for now, and yeah, like we were saying, we got a couple QBs. What happened?
I'll send you that link.
All right, no doubt. Yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, like you were saying, man, we got a couple QBs to talk about. The Shohei Ohtani interpreter scandal, Nickelodeon, a big one. I can't wait to talk about that one. Poverty and crime. I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? But just to kind of get it started here, fill me in on what's going on with the Steelers QBs.
Yeah, man. So last time we were in the pod and we discussed Justin Fields, he was still a Chicago Bear, right? A couple days later, and something else I want to bring up the last time we were in the podcast, I told you, I was like, bro, his trade value has diminished completely. It decreased. And then next thing you know, 2 days later, dude, he gets traded for a 6th-round pick. Like I called. I was like, this guy's going to go for a 6th-rounder, bro. Because at first I initially thought 4th round would be, just about where he needs to be. But when I saw a 6th-round pick for Justin Fields, I was shocked. in my opinion, the Bears got robbed in that trade. The Steelers basically gave up nothing to get a potentially good QB with the promising future, at least in my opinion, right? So now he's with the Steelers, and prior to that, the Steelers had picked up Russell Wilson, to get on their roster. So after they pick up Russ, they trade away Kenny Pickett, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, wonder why they're doing that." And they come to find out it's because they had all the intentions of getting Justin Fields, and which they did. So Justin Fields is on the Steelers now to back up Russell Wilson. And the team even came out and said, "Look, there's no QB controversy because Russ is our starter, and that's that." If some week one, at least we'll say week one, he'll be the starter. However, depending on how the season goes, bro, we could see Justin Fields on the field. So it's gonna be interesting to see that happen, or at least to see what transpires throughout that season. There's also rumors that if Russ doesn't perform, they're just gonna release him. Dude, they're only paying the man $1 million a year because the Broncos are paying him 38. So really, right now, the Steelers are in great position, bro. They literally got two QBs,
two low-risk QBs.
Two low-risk QBs basically for nothing, bro. They paid nothing. $1 million for Russell Wilson, and then Justin Fields still in his rookie contract. He's not, they have no concern. So the Steelers are in a great position right now, to kind of set them up for the future. And worst case scenario, neither of them work out. Cool, they go draft another QB next year or the year after. They really have nothing to lose at this point. So it's going to be an interesting season to say the least. I am rooting for Justin Fields, man. And I really hope that he kind of he resurrects his career and Pittsburgh with a great organization that knows how to draft. They do draft great receivers. They have a good defense, and they made a lot of good moves in the offseason, man. And obviously, not to mention a great coach and Mike Tomlin. So looking forward to see what happens with that, man. What are your thoughts on that trade?
Although I agree with you because I do like Justin Fields, I also want to see Russell Wilson's career resurrected. So I mean, do I want to see Justin Fields get another shot? Absolutely, but it's at the cost of Russ's career? Not really, to be honest, because I don't know, man. I just don't think what we saw from Russ in Denver is what we're used to seeing from him. You know what I mean? And we're kind of in a weird place now where he's kind of being looked at like as a systems QB to where he had everything in Seattle, which I mean, there's a good debate about it, but I personally don't believe it. So, I mean, I think he could bring this Steelers team, turn around that team and make them a playoff team. And I don't think that's a lot to ask for from a guy like Russ. But, we have that little sour taste in our mouths because of what we've seen recently in recent history in Denver. So yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. It's going to be interesting because, like you said, they did make a lot of good moves. And, if Russ can play pretty decent, they could do some damage. You know what I'm saying? That team, they're not bums, right? So that's how I feel about that. And you did hit it right on the head when it comes to what his value worth was. What's crazy to me is okay, so you got a 6th-round pick from it. So you're going to tell me that nobody else in the league was willing to give that up for Justin Fields?
That's
such a high potential guy. That's wild to me, bro. Wild.
A 6th-round pick. What the hell is a 6th-round pick, in my opinion? Typically 6th-round picks, bro, they end up being bust and they end up getting cut. Not even before training, even before the season begins.
Out of there real quick.
Practice squad, yeah. Best case scenario, practice squad. There's very few and far in between that actually do pan out and become great. And those are the ones that are like, damn, okay, they got great value out of this guy, 6th-round pick. But dog, Justin Fields is worth more than a 6th-round pick. And anybody says otherwise, they don't watch football. They're high, especially for his position, the quarterback position, where we know they don't grow on trees, and where Justin Fields is still young. He's never been paired up with a great coach or a great organization. Now he has a chance to do that, and you're telling me he's not worth not even the 6th-round pick? It's dumb. It's crazy to me. And glad the Steelers pulled the trigger on that, because if the Bears called me right now and said, "Oh yeah, 6th-round pick for Justin Fields," I'll be like, "Dude, I'll give you my next 3 year 6th-round picks for Justin Fields. How about that?" Come on, dog. So these teams, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell they're seeing. But then again, we say it all the time, dude. These GMs really have no business being GMs in the NFL because some of these dudes make the worst decisions on these players, and we just never understand why. Or we're like, how are you in that position to work in the biggest league in the world, or in the U.S. At the highest level, and you can't even see what the fans are seeing? So, anyways, man, whatever. It's their loss, and the Steelers, is Steelers win. So,
yeah, that's a W, man, because you go in the season with options, plenty of options. You know what I'm saying? Like, people wish they had two guys like that on their roster right now. Like you said, they don't grow on trees. Like, how many teams could use guys like them? And you're gonna tell me that they weren't making phone calls to try to make things happen when fucking Justin Fields went for a fucking bag of chips, dog? That's kind of fucking.
Meanwhile, you got the Falcons signing Kirk Cousins to a 4-year, $180 million. What?
Although step up, we talk about it in the last pod. 180 mil for Kirk Cousins. What the fuck has he done?
180 mil for Kirk Cousins when you could have gotten Justin Fields for a 6th-round pick on a rookie contract, dude. Come on, I think both of us agree that's an easy decision to make.
Like, that's a lot of money to save that you could throw somewhere else.
A lot of money. You could pick up weapons for Fields, which Atlanta already has. Bijan, they got Kyle Pitts, they got Drake London. They could have went out for that money that they paid Kirk. They could have went out and picked up 2 number 1 wide receivers with that money, bro. Like, so to me, I'm like another example of
back to the decisions.
Yeah, what are these coaches and GMs doing, bro? Oh, I'd rather pay Kirk Cousins 180 mil for 4 years on his last leg coming off an Achilles injury rather than paying Justin Fields, a stud QB, with potential, his through the roof, right? Like, it's like, I don't know, man. Again, I'm kind of lost for words on that decision. I mean, we can go on to every single team in the NFL and be like, why did they not trade for Justin Fields? Besides the select few, like the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Ravens, there's like a handful of teams that you're like, I get it. You don't need Justin Fields. But the rest of them bum-ass teams, they could use Justin Fields, bro. Take us over to the next one, man. I know this is something that you wanted to discuss. And that's been going on. Like, I think the news dropped like just about a week ago with the whole Shohei Ohtani situation, man. I know at first you thought that he got suspended, but then reading it over again, I kind of went back and was like, no, he didn't get suspended, dude. His interpreter got fired for apparently gambling. So tell us a little bit about that one, man. I'm curious to hear.
Oh yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert on the topic, but from what I can see is that his interpreter, which by the way is one of his boys, like it's somebody close to him. You know what I'm saying? And it always is. So I'm not really surprised by that, but it's just wild, man. Especially when you have a guy like Shohei Ohtani who kind of like puts you on, and it's something that like people take for granted because anybody is like wish they could be or they wish they were given that opportunity, right, to seize it. And I don't know, man. $4 million coming out of Shohei Ohtani's account going straight into a bookie account or whatever, and that's kind of alarming because yeah, the interpreter's a piece of shit, but I'm not too sure and too convinced that Shohei Ohtani had no idea that shit was going on. So I mean, that's kind of why I like read the headline and I ultimately related it to Shohei Ohtani being suspended because I was like, I'm just not convinced. And it's funny because I was thinking of that initially, and then I kind of did a search earlier today, and I read that it's going to be tough for Shohei to come out of this scandal unscathed, which is wild. So, I mean, the investigation is ongoing, obviously, and we'll see what comes upon it, right? So, I don't know, man. It's just wild because you're like on that roller coaster all the way to superstardom, and then just like coming crashing down before you even get to enjoy the fruits of your labor type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't know, man. What are your thoughts in the whole thing?
I mean, yeah, I think the worst part about it, like you said, bro, like he's in his rise to stardom, which he's already a superstar in the league. I think he's probably the best player in the league right now. There's a reason why he just got a $700 million contract, right? Insane, the biggest contract of all time. And whatnot. But it sucks because it's like this is something that's going on off the field, you right? So for that to kind of tarnish his name, or right now, being like the global brand that he is, with everything going in his favor, and then this comes out, it's just damn, bro. The timing of it all is just it's horrible, right? And then for him to be in the middle of all this, and like you said, getting out of this unscathed is very unlikely. And I agree, because if you're that close to someone, bro, the MLB's looking at it as, which, by the way, the MLB has launched their own investigation into this whole situation. The interpreter got fired, and that's not the end of it. They're like, no. We're not just. He's not just going to get fired, and then Shohei's just going to go about his business like as if nothing happened. Because, most people probably know that Shohei had a little bit of knowledge on this, man. The dude wasn't just snatching money, millions of dollars from his bank account go unnoticed. Like, there's no way Shohei was just sitting back like, oh, wow, what? Oh, he was stealing that much money from me from that long, and I'm just not realizing this? So it's like the golden boy of the MLB all of a sudden, has a little bit of a stain on him. And we're thinking, damn, like he has a gambling issue. Like there's a gambling addiction going on now. They haven't really gotten into too much of it, but it's like, if we find out that maybe he was gambling on games, bro, that he played in, like we might have another Pete Rose situation in our hands, bro.
We have no idea what's coming. It could be anything. Right.
And we know, if you know baseball, you know what happened to Pete Rose. Pete Rose got basically like shunned from the MLB. Like, yeah, he'll never be in the Hall of Fame. Like they pretty much said the MLB, the baseball, they want nothing to do with him. And Pete Rose is a legend, bro.
It's that guy.
Yeah, so he's a legend. So imagine if that happened to Pete Rose, what's going to happen to Shohei? And what's crazy is that I'm wondering if they end up proving that he was involved, that they can probably just void his whole contract. That $700 million contract probably go away,
bro.
Just like that.
It can. There's ways. I'm sure there is. I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
Yeah, because if you think about it, that the most likely, if there might have been a breach and there might have been a clause in there for ethical for violating, like, gambling. So there's ethical violations that that's part of most contracts that these players have to abide by, and if they don't, it basically says, hey, if you do this, we're voiding the contract. Like we're not paying you a dime. So that's something that we need to keep an eye on, bro, because that is huge. As of right now, Shohei is still, in the league. He's still actively playing. Right now it's preseason. They have regular season hasn't started yet. And I'm just doing a little bit of research right now, man. I'm looking at a few things. It looks like they're saying that he's going to suit up. There's nothing that's came out yet that they're saying that they're going to remove him, or he might have to take a break from the team or step away from the team. So right now, he's still in there, bro. But that can change in a matter of hours. So we'll stay tuned, and we'll see how how the story develops, and then that's something we'll definitely probably touch on the next one.
Right, and honestly, like, I really hope that when it comes down to it, there's some sort of like miscommunication or whatever the case may be with Shohei, to where maybe he had no freaking clue, because at the end of the day, regardless of what happened, he's good for baseball. I mean, yeah, we're sitting here talking about him, and we're not even baseball fans. You know what I'm saying? When the hell do you and I ever talk about baseball?
Never.
Exactly. So I mean, this guy came out of nowhere, and he's a special talent. So it's like for him to get stripped, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to defend him by any means. If he's guilty, get him the fuck out of there. But I'm just hoping he's not, because he's such a big role model to kids and everybody around the world because of the talent that he brings to the table. I mean, there's one thing to be a great pitcher, but to be a great pitcher and also be able to fucking hit bombs, 400 feet bombs, for that is fucking wild, bro. Pitchers don't do that. Pitchers get to home base, and they're an easy out every time. Where Shohei Ohtani, you got to be careful with him, because he's at the bottom of the lineup batting ninth, and he's your best fucking hitter on your fucking team, bro.
Yeah, that's scary.
That shit makes no sense, bro.
He's the only one that can do it, bro. Like, literally the only player in MLB that can do that. Like, usually you'll see that maybe like high school. You'll have players that can do both. But once you get into like college and the pros, like they stop. You stop doing that.
You can't keep up with both.
You can't keep up with both. You can only focus on one. So for Shohei to be able to do both, bro. And this year, matter of fact, this year he can't even pitch because he just got surgery.
Yeah,
so he's not pitching this year. This year he's strictly hitting. So imagine how much better he's going to get at hitting when that's all he's going to be focused on.
Right.
So I agree, Harry. For the sake of the sport, bro, I really hope he's not guilty, man, because I think as a fan, everybody wants to see him on the diamond. So like I really hope, like you said, it was some type of miscommunication, and he had nothing to do with it, bro. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Definitely something to keep an eye on, and we'll continue to discuss on the next couple episodes.
Perfect. So the feature presentation of the episode, bro. So, I mean, before I go in this, you saw all 4 episodes?
I did. I binge watched it on one night.
Okay, yeah, me too.
I went to bed late. I went to bed at like 1 a.m. on a work day, on a weeknight.
Either, bro. Like I woke up from a nap, right? And I was like, damn, if I start this, there's gonna be a good chance that I like it so much that I'm not going to sleep till 2:30. And
yeah,
of course, I watched the first episode and I was like, all right, this is too juicy. And I ran through the whole damn thing, bro. And wild, bro. Wild to say the least. So I mean, for the audience, if you haven't heard yet, they released, I don't know, is it considered a documentary? Because I know it's like a 4-part series.
It's a 4-part documentary series, yeah.
Right. And it kind of touches on what happens behind the scenes on set of Nickelodeon, especially with like kids and the young stars of our generation. And absolutely brutal what I heard on those episodes, right? And it kind of makes sense because how wild Amanda Bynes is these days. I mean, that's for something. She didn't do that to herself, right? So I mean, watching it, what are your initial thoughts? Like, what did you think of the whole thing?
Well, I mean, first thing, man, and that came to my mind when this came out, I was like, not surprised. I'm not surprised just because of everything you hear in Hollywood and kind of like child abuse, people getting molested, and even adults in the industry, that get used, bro, for sexual favors. If they want to play a role in a movie, for example, there's been whispers of that adult stars would have to do special favors for a director or something like that, right? In order to get into the movie. So for me to hear that kids are getting abused, unfortunately, man, I wasn't surprised by it, and it's so sad to say. But I'm glad that they're finally freaking putting this out there, man. They're highlighting this bullshit that happened to these kids, and we're going back to like the all that days, right? The early days, and for the audience that are watching, the ones that are in our age group, the millennials, of the world, like we grew up on all that, bro. We grew up on Good Burger, we grew up on Kenan and Kel, and then moving on to like Drake and Josh, all those TV shows, man, and the guy behind it all was Dan Snyder. And then I don't want to give too much away just in case like nobody's watched the documentary. But basically, Dan Snyder was basically the mastermind behind all these shows, which became very successful. But the documentary highlights what was going on behind the scenes to these kids, and kind of like the abuse that went on. We're talking about like verbal abuse. Some of them were physically abused. And molested. So along those lines, right? To me, it's just one of those things where I'm like, about time somebody came out and spoke their truth on what was really going on, to prevent this from ever happening again, and that in that industry. So again, I don't want to give too much away, man, but it's sad. I walked away from it like, almost, as someone who has kids, I'm like, dude, I got to hold my kids a little bit closer because of this. Like,
yeah, that hit home more for you than it did for me. So
yeah, I would now, because of that, I don't think I'll ever allow my kids to go into acting. and it's to be around those kind of predators, man, because they're out there. Those motherfuckers are just waiting for the opportunity. They're lurking, waiting for parents to not be around for them to put their claws into them. And if you watch the documentary, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see how these people just wait for that right opportunity. They're very calculated people. They just know like who to pick on and who to deal with, because they typically look for people with a broken home, or sorry, they look for kids that are in a broken home where maybe the dad's not around as much or at all, or if the mom is not very hands-on. Typically, the mom would, or they're the ones that are like, oh yeah, sure, there's nothing wrong with it, and a lot of times the dads are the ones that are like, hell no, like, because we know. In the back of our mind, like, no, an adult is not supposed to be showing this kind of interest in a child ever, right? So yeah, it's. I'll let you go ahead, man. Let me know your thoughts. I kind of want to hear your opinion on it all.
You mentioned behind the scenes, and I mentioned behind the scenes as well. And it wasn't only behind the scenes. What's wild is that now, I mean, you saw some of the skits that were implemented back in that day that were shown to kids, bro. Like, now I look at them, some of the ones that were highlighted on the documentary, and I was like, bro, this guy is a sick motherfucker. Like, all these sexual scenes and being aired on a kid's TV show, like subliminal messages, like no other. And it's just crazy to see, because you can't post something like that today. So it's once upon a time, like, things like that kind of fell under the rug type of thing. And it's wild, because it goes to show you that phrase is true. Like, nothing ever, everything one day is kind of, you can never hide from something forever. It pops up one way or another. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how long from now, 30, 40 years ago, because that was a long ass time ago at this point. So, I mean, it's just interesting to see. I wonder what exactly triggered for this documentary to come out. But yeah. So one thing that I actually was telling you about yesterday that we were kind of going back and forth about, is just funny, because those parents that their parents were on set with them, they were quickly pretty much fired. The all the guys in the background that were trying to do all this illegal ass shit, they would peep that some of these parents were vigilant for their kids. Yeah. So at one point, those kids were just fired. They didn't really have a longevity in Nickelodeon, because the mom knew was kind of putting things and things together. Little, so they were like, nah, like, this is a problem type of thing. So kick them out of there type of thing. Bro, my mom would have raised hell. That would never happen under my mom, and that.
Those kids, like you said, Harry, those kids that the parents were around and that called bullshit on everything, those kids got blackballed eventually, right? They started losing roles and they started losing airtime, and eventually just getting fired, and with no apparent reason. And then the kids that they were able to kind of groom and get their claws into, those were the ones that were prominent and that made it to the top, and that ended up getting their own shows, for people like Amanda Bynes, for the people like Drake Bells. Those kids were the ones that had the opportunities, and now we kind of understand why.
Right.
Why
what's crazy about that is that everybody on the outside, like, especially the kids that look up to these young stars, is that they see all the glamour in these roles, but at the end of the day, there's always a price to be paid, and they paid a big one, bro. You can't put a price on that. You're scarred for life. A lot of these kids. I mean, Amanda Bynes is absolutely destroyed, and it was sad that we didn't get to hear some of her story, because we kind of got hints here and there about her through the other cast members. But the fact of the matter is that she disappeared off set with Dan Schneider for hours at a time. So who knows what the hell happened during those times? And we were talking about comparing Amanda Bynes and Drake Bell, and I kind of spoke a little too soon. What Drake Bell went through, bro, because it wasn't just once; it was over and over and over again, and it's just sickening to me, because it just, everything comes back to fruition, because because you've known me for a long time. There's no such thing as sleepovers in a Hispanic household.
Yeah.
I was never allowed to sleep over my friends' houses. You know that. You guys would bring that up to me, and damn, I would tell you guys no off rip. I was like, I'm not even gonna ask my mom because I know what she's gonna come back and say to me. So I didn't even bother with that shit. And the fact that Drake Bell's dad like was kind of figuring out what that guy, what was his name, Brian Peck, was doing, and then it's crazy how these sex offenders, like, they know someone's watching and they're still willing to do what they do these things. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're under a microscope.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. And then you have the mom who the father, when Drake Bell fires him from being the manager, clearly tells her, listen, like, it's fine. You could be him. You could be his manager, but don't let Brian be with Drake alone. Ever. And then you allow the guy to pick up your son for auditions and sleep over his house. This kid is a young kid and sleeping over a 40-something-year-old guy's house. Like, what the heck do you think was going to happen?
Yeah, honestly, I think the mom should be jailed for that, bro. In my opinion, I think in situations like this, bro, I think parents need to be held accountable when their kids go through shit like that, bro. Not only do you arrest a molester and put him away for fucking life, you need to hold the parents accountable as well. Because if a parent, like you said, the fact that she allowed her son to be picked up by a 40-year-old man for days on end, taking him to Disney World with his group of friends, who knows if they were predators as well, and if maybe they were doing shit to him, and then sleeping over his house because it was too late and he had an early audition. I don't give a damn. I really don't care, bro. Early audition or not, like you're not. First of all, you're not picking up my son. That's number one. And number two, like he's not staying at your house. So it just blows my mind, man. And I really feel bad for the dad because the dad protected him until he couldn't anymore. Because basically the predator got to Drake's head and basically said that your dad is doing you wrong and you need to fire him from being your manager.
Built a wedge between them. It's wild. They go through to get what they want.
Yeah, and that's what these predators do, man. Like these sick motherfuckers. That's what they do. They see someone in their way, like AKA like a father figure, like or the father is in the picture, and they try to build that wedge between the two, saying, "Oh, he's not a good dad. He's doing this. He's doing that. Oh, like you should find a new manager." He even said that he even asked Drake for him to be his manager, right? And it's like,
can you imagine?
Bro, I'm sorry, bro. That man would have gotten the hands. I would have if I would have heard that, I would have thrown hands with that man. I'm sorry, bro. I mean, what matter of fact, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. But that dude, I hope he rots in hell, man. And the fact that he only got 16 months in jail or some nonsense like that is beyond me.
And you know what's even the worst part of that? Yeah, he got 16 months, right?
Yeah.
So you think this guy would never work in the industry again, right?
Oh yeah, and ends up somebody hires him.
Life of fucking Zach and Cody. How? Yeah. How, bro?
Disney hires him to be. Yeah, you're right. He goes on the street life of Zach and Cody, bro. And then they came out, and then once I guess they put it out there, somebody figured it out, and somebody put it on blast. All of a sudden, Diddy's like, "Oh, we were not aware." Oh, yeah, you were not aware, mother. Please, bro.
You know what they were thinking at that time? We got a mastermind when it comes to shows that we can hire, and he's at such a low in his career that we get him for a bag of peanuts. That's why they hired him.
Yeah.
And then they get called on their bullshit, and they're gonna tell everybody that they had no idea, dog. Come on, man. That's such force.
A multi-billion-dollar company can't vet somebody properly? Really? Come on, dude.
Well, I mean, it's not a surprise. Disney is full of pedophiles.
Of course they are, bro. Of course they are. Which is why I'm like, they try to save face and be like, oh no, we let him go. Oh, we just realized this. Oh my god. Yeah, all right. Y'all knew. And Lord knows what he did when he worked on the street life of Zach and Cody. I mean, nobody's came out and said nothing yet. But after this documentary, who knows? We might hear people be like, oh shit, you know what? Matter of fact, yeah, dude was a creep. He did this, he did that. So it's, again, man, like when I hear these kind of stories, it just boils my blood and makes my skin crawl. that these people are allowed to walk this earth, and even be around children. Like
Execute
it's
them, bro.
sickening.
Execute them all.
Yeah, 100%. I think once you get caught, or doing something like that, and you go to jail, I think that should be like that should be for life. You should never be let go. I don't think you deserve. There are a few instances in life, Harry, where I say you don't deserve a second chance, man. And I think this is one of them.
Right, and I think it's because it sounds bad to put that big of a punishment on something, but my thing is if the penalty for this is death, that number of people that does that deed drastically decreases.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying
that
way because at the end of the day, pedos are going to be pedos. You know what I'm saying?
no,
But
they're sick. They're sick. They can't
think twice about what they're going to do.
they can't contain the urge, bro. I think for a human being to sit there and kind of like calculate in their mind and think about how I'm going to abuse a child, like you're not all there. I think that's a mental illness, bro. And with mental illness, like you cannot stop yourself. That part of the brain that says no, this is wrong. Don't do it. That part of the brain is gone. It's not there. It doesn't work. So those kind of people, like I said, don't deserve a second chance because typically sexual abusers and pedophiles, they're secondhand offenders. Like they always do it. They always do it again. It's never just a one-time thing. Right. So like repeat offenders, like that's what that came to mind. Repeat offenders. So yeah, I think in my opinion, those people deserve either jail for life or death penalty. Fuck it, bro.
Yeah, in the most brutal way possible. Like some of these other countries, like I don't agree with a lot of the stuff, but in this case, I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fucking hang them all, execute.
You know what?
It don't matter.
Way right it too.
Yeah, it don't fucking matter, bro. But yeah, man. I mean, like I said, man, we can go into this, so much, so much deeper. But we just know now, like it just illustrates, like it just kind of like puts it out there and highlights the fact that the Hollywood and like the movie industry and TV industry is just it's sick, man. It's full of sickos. I feel like these television networks don't do their due diligence and don't vet people correctly. It's either that or they just simply don't care, right? And these parents that are out there, man, that have kids and on television, like, bro, like be a parent, be there. Like, don't ever let your kid out of your sight. Like, I don't care what it is or what these people are telling you. Like, the answer should always be no. Like, no, if I can't see my son at all times, then the answer is no. Cool. You want to fire him? Go ahead, fire him. That's cool. Because guess what? At the end of the day, down the road, when my son looks back at it and be like, damn, well, I got fired, but at least I wasn't abused. Right. And you can recover from being fired. I'm not sure if many people can recover from being abused at such a young age, man. And look what happened to Drake Bell. My man, he's still hurting. He's still going through it.
He's gonna forever go through it, bro. You don't forget those things.
Yeah, and you look at his dad, man. Towards the end of the documentary, you can tell that man is broken.
Like, yeah, because he initially thought that he prevented it, when in reality, Drake was the guy that he was abusing.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, he was heartbroken.
Yeah.
He did everything that he could.
He did. He was a great father, bro. You can't take anything away from that man. He did everything he could. Unfortunately, the mom got in between and she fucked it up. She fucked it all up. And I'm pretty sure there's a reason why she wasn't interviewed, because she probably denied. Because she knew what she did, and she was like, "Nah, I'm not trying to put my face out there," because she knew she would get a lot of flack.
This is something that we've kind of discussed in the past about parentals and the whole gender.
Yeah, single moms and single dads. Yep. This is why, man. This is why, bro.
Like I said, I just gave you the numbers. Do whatever you want with it, but it's not a coincidence. All right. So
it's not. Mm-mm.
But yeah, bro. I mean, we kind of touched up on that one really, really well. I like that. There was some passion there or whatever. So hit us with that next one. That next one is going to be deep too. So
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, this is good. So first, I want to show y'all a little video of what we're gonna be talking about, man. And this is a little bit controversial. So just FYI, just be ready for this one.
Black people are only 13% of the population, yet they commit 55% of the murders. Why?
Because Black people tend to be in lower economic statuses.
So you think that poverty equals crime?
It's highly correlated. A lot of studies
this is where
on
we
that.
disagree. What an insult to the working poor of
So
this
why
country.
do you think Black people commit more
Well,
crime?
first
Charlie
of all,
Kirk?
what percentage of blacks have a father around when they're raised?
I'm not sure.
25%. 75% of Black youth are raised without a father in the home. 75%. It is the most predictable way to end up in prison, end up as a murderer or a criminal.
And why
It's
do
not a
you think that's
racism
a problem?
It's not a white supremacy problem. It's a fact that Black fathers impregnate women and they don't stay around with the women
And
that they have
why-
impregnated. Is that a bigger problem or not a bigger problem than whiteness, white privilege, or white supremacy? How
They
can
should
you
all
blame?
be addressed, and they're all related.
This is not about systemic racism. Like, stop impregnating your women and abandoning them.
Well, the way to incentivize not impregnating women and abandoning them is increasing access to healthcare, into housing.
So we have spent
Come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
social welfare system since 1965. So the more money we've spent on Black America, the less fathers we have, because Black women divorced Black men and married the government.
Woo!
Damn. I didn't go into debt like that when you sent me that video. That shit's wild.
Bro, when I seen that, and bro, I love this guy, man. Like, I wouldn't say I agree with everything that he says, but dude, he will debate you and he will fucking school you. Like, this man comes with the facts. Like, he doesn't just talk out of his ass, bro. Like, he has statistics. Like, he has facts. Like, everything he says, bro, he backs it up, which I respect a lot. Huh?
You have to in a debate, and that guy is he's a true expert when it comes to that. So I mean, you don't want the smoke when it comes to him. It's like talking to Myron about women.
Yeah, exactly, man. Those kind of people that come with you like that, and he's not, he doesn't disrespect you. He just comes at you with the facts. That's all. Like, and I respect that, bro. Now, if you choose to disagree, you choose to disagree. That you have the right to do that. But when somebody gives you the statistics and it's in black and white, how do you even argue with that?
And
right?
I mean, technically, people could disagree what they want, but he's low key, pretty much like for these women. He's clearly putting the blame on fathers for leaving these women. So he's trying to, he's for these women getting the help that they need, because he knows they're not the problem. It's the whole father figure thing. So I mean, it's not like he's coming with this racial ass answer. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, people are going to take it how they will at the end of the day. So I don't know.
Well, no, I think a lot of people are going to look at it as him, being racist, which is crazy to me, because not one thing he said in there was racist. He just came at you with the fact, saying that black people own, they're 13% of the U.S. population, yet they commit 55% of the crime. So, dog, the math ain't math.
I mean, I'm interested. I'm interested to hear. I want to go second on this one. So, what do you think is the problem here, or do you think in general that poverty equals crime? So
I mean, the whole topic of this is this poverty equal crime, right? And I think for me, I don't think it should, bro. I think just because you're poor, that doesn't mean you have to be violent and you have to commit a crime, right?
Should and what is two different things. So, does poverty equal crime? It's not what you think should be the case. Is it the case or not?
Okay, yeah, here it is. That is poverty. Poverty does equal crime, bro. Especially when it comes to violent crimes. Yes, because there's a reason why nobody wants to live in the hood, right? There's a reason why nobody wants to live in low income neighborhoods. Nobody wants to live in Section 8 housing, right? Because that's typically where the poor people live. And when you live in a poor area, that's when you run into a lot of issues. Your shit gets broken into. You get fucking robbed at gunpoint. God forbid, somebody gets sexually assaulted, Those are the type of crimes that you have to worry about when you're living in a low income area, and which is why everybody wants to get the fuck out of there. So does poverty equal crime? Yes, it fucking does. Not saying that rich people don't commit crimes. I think they do. However, the crimes that rich people commit, they're typically white collar crimes, right? We're talking about like wire fraud, tax evasion.
Nobody's hurt in the situation.
Nobody's getting physically hurt, right? By these type of crimes. But yes, poverty does equal crime. That is the answer. And anybody that says otherwise, I think is a fool. Because if that was the case, then why are you trying to get out the hood? Why do you want to live in a better neighborhood for your kids? Why do you want to live in a better area? Right? Obviously living in a better area, meaning a higher rent. So a lot of us are willing to pay that price to be in a better area for our families, in a better environment for our kids.
Okay. No, yeah. It sucks, but I have to agree with this one. And it's just funny because this kind of contrasts what I kind of saw on the internet when I was kind of doing my research. And it's funny because like you go on Google and you go to any of these search engines and they want to give you the most politically correct answer that they can. So they're like, they'll say that poverty doesn't equal crime, but then they outline the lack of resources, the lack of employment, the lack of opportunities, the fact that when you're in those type of neighborhoods, you see crime more than when you're not in those type of neighborhoods. So you're prone to doing that type of crime. So how is it that you outline all these reasons and then you say poverty doesn't equal crime?
Yeah, it's idiotic.
That's exactly what it equals. Unfortunately, I mean, it sucks to say, but I mean, again, we're not here to tell people what we just think, you know what I'm saying, or what is politically correct or what they want to hear. We want to come with a little bit of factual shit and be able to, back up those facts one way or another with statistics or whatever the case may be. And the numbers show that it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like you said, how can you argue against that? And if you do have a good argument, please show me. I'm all ears because I'm not, a person that sits here and is a know-it-all. So educate me by any means, but I got to see it first.
Yeah. I agree, bro, 100%. And this is just one of the situations where I would like to debate with you on this, but it's kind of hard to, right? Because the facts are facts. You cannot argue that, right? So for me, I think people are gonna sit here and make excuses, right? They're gonna sit here and be like, well, I wasn't afforded the same opportunity as a trust fund kid that grew up in like Beverly Hills and that grew up in these neighborhoods. It's wild to me because they act like it's impossible to make it out these neighborhoods, bro. But when there are examples out there, so many examples of people that do come out of these underprivileged neighborhoods and make it, man, by working hard, doing the right thing, respecting authority, not committing crimes, just simple as don't fucking do it. Like, it's wrong and you just don't do it. And to sit here and kind of blame the white man constantly for everything that goes wrong in your life is really, that's where it starts. When you can sit here all day and just blame someone for your downfall, and for any wrongdoing that that happens, it's insane, man. It's just insane to me. I feel like the U.S. government's not perfect. I think we all know that. I don't think any government's perfect. However, I feel like America affords a lot of us opportunities that other places wouldn't afford us, right? We, especially the opportunity to speak freely, freedom of speech.
That one's kind of iffy these days, but I guess.
Well, these days, but for the most part, bro. I mean, living in a country like America versus living in a country like North Korea. I mean, come on.
We truly don't have true freedom of speech anymore. We don't. We're censored everywhere.
I mean, we are, but does that mean
to a certain extent, anyways? I guess.
So here's the difference, right? So we could, when you say freedom of speech, like I can sit here and say some shit, and then if I try to post it, they'll remove me off the they'll delete my account.
So you get fucking death.
Yeah, some other countries, you say some wild shit like that, you go to Russia and talk about Vladimir Putin. See what happens to you, right? So I can sit here and I can criticize. I can sit here and criticize our government, and bro, I, for the most part, I'll be okay. I don't think anything's gonna happen to me, right? But people are still gonna sit here and be like, oh, we still don't have freedom of speech. People sit here and complain about America, and they're still here. So why are you still here, bro?
Not only are they still here, but people like that, they're always going to highlight problems with no solutions. And if that's the case, then don't even complain in the first place, because you're not gonna help these problems. You're just there to complain and complain and complain, like you said. So get the fuck out of here with that shit.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like it's insane. And Charlie Kirk, the guy I just showed you, there was a video the other day. He actually he was on stage somewhere, and then like he had one of the guys that asked him a question. He was like, and he asked him, like, hey, where are you from? Whatever. And then the guy was like, yo, I'm from Haiti. And he kind of started explaining to him. He's like, listen, man, people see and Americans that are born and raised in the US sit here and complain about their lifestyle and complain about certain things where people in Haiti dream of having, bro. And then Charlie Kirk is just kind of highlighted that, be like, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, Americans take shit for granted, man. Like we take a lot of things for granted that we think that you know we should be entitled to, and that everybody in the world is afforded when they're really not. So it's just one of those things, bro. Like you gotta you need to do a little bit of research, like educate yourself and see how the rest of the world is living versus how we're living. Like I said, we're not perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and say America's perfect and everybody in America is a millionaire and we all live a lavish lifestyle. That's not true. It's not. However, the opportunities are out there, man. It's just a matter of going out and doing your homework and doing your job and working for it versus sitting around and acting like a fucking entitled brat and act like somebody owes you a goddamn thing. Mm-hmm. That's the problem with this generation, man, is that they sit around and think that there's just somebody's just gonna fucking hand it to them. Like everybody thinks that they're the next TikTok star, they're the next influencer, and all they want to do is sit around and record themselves doing dumb shit and want to go viral off of one video and think they're gonna fucking make it. Yep, that's really the issue. Yep,
and then so it's just funny how everything comes full circle, because I don't know if I told you or not. I'm not, and I know that we together are not really big religious people.
Yeah.
But bro, today I went to church for the first time in like 10 years, bro.
Yeah.
And I was invited by Sam's mom and her man. And we went to this church, and it was almost like a convention building. This church was huge, bro. Huge. And there's a school in there, and pretty much the objective is to draw as much kids in as possible, like for a place, so that they could grow up in a place where they have so they're not on the street type of thing. Mm-hmm. So they have a lot of activities within a building, bro. And I was like, if this was the church that I was going to back in the day, I'd be here all the time. Because, bro, when I tell you that I enjoyed being there today, and I enjoyed the service, and the pastor, he was hilarious, and just we sit here and talk about being grateful. And over the last couple of weeks, I kind of been complaining about recently that I've been having tough days at work, and I tell you that I'm just gonna go for a run, shake it off, and start fresh the next day, because at the end of the day, I'm grateful that that's my problem. People out here, they can't pay rent. They're on the street. They can't afford their food. And I'm sitting here fucking complaining about a bad day at work. I have a fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't live paycheck to paycheck. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the most grateful people there is these days. And I can't say that I've always, that's always been the case. And I was just glad that I was able to go to church today, and I'm glad I enjoyed it. And I think a big reason as to why I did enjoy it, and you know this because you've known me since I was 10 years old, is that my parents made me go to church until I was 21 every Sunday, mandatory. And that's why I grew up hating it so much, because it's not something in which I controlled my destiny. Someone was telling me, you have to go to church. So what did
it was forced on you.
I was going to enjoy it? No. So you go under your own control and you give it a fair shot. And bro, that service was amazing. Like, I'm gonna look up the service online because it's a big ass church, bro. It's huge. Like, I'm talking about, they have a production team, everything, music, drummers.
They probably most likely they'll probably live stream it.
They do live stream it. They do. And bro, watch it. And I promise you, the message that you get from what that pastor is talking about, because the topic was like, it was like finances and heaven or something like that. And it talked about prosperity and how, like, in history, like some of the errors that come with being wealthy, like people associate being rich, and because they're rich, they're not religious. Like, people think just because you have money that you're not religious, you're not spiritual, and that's far from the truth, bro. And I just want, like, I'm gonna send you the link, and I want you to kind of go through and watch the first 30 minutes, and that's all you need to watch. 28 minutes, whatever the case may be, bro. But that guy had me stuck to him, bro, because everything he said was facts, and I can't wait to go back, bro. He was actually gonna have another session at 5 p.m. and it was like it was healing, and I wanted to go, but I thought the church was a lot closer, and it ended up being in Grand Rapids. It's 30 minutes away from me from where I go to the gym. I was like, I'm not going back there again. But if it was closer, bro, I would have went, because that church was dope, bro. I understand why it's been around for like 30 years and why it's been so successful, because they do a good job of having a community. And it's crazy because this is not a big town. And when I tell you that auditorium was filled up, bro, speaks volumes.
Yeah. Send me that link, man. I'm interested. I'm definitely interested to see to see it. And from the sound of it, it sounds like the pastor was a good speaker. And
he was somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I mean, that's definitely good to hear. I'm definitely not opposed to religion. You know, like you said, I'm not the most religious person, but I'm not opposed to it either, man. I always like to hear a good message, for sure.
Absolutely. And for me, it's not even the whole religion thing. It's more like, I tell you all the time that I wouldn't be where I am without my parents, especially my mother. And when we go down the line of what my mother is as a person, I would be lucky to be half the person she is. And I think that a reason that she's been able to provide all the things that she's been able to give me is because the path that she has walked with her relationship with religion. And I'm not necessarily saying that, I'm going to be this religious guy or anything, but there is something to learn there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does bring good. And like I said, I was just glad to be there, because I've been talking about kind of giving it another shot over the last couple months, and I never pulled the trigger. And it's almost like it was like kind of like God sent, because who the hell thought that her mom was going to invite me to church? Like, is that coincidental? I don't know, man. It just had me thinking. And then when the service started and they started playing a bunch of music and stuff, like I got kind of teary eyed, because I had Justin in my mind, and going back to the whole grateful thing, like he's 6 feet under and we're still living type of thing. So that kind of just hit home for me. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I feel you on that, man. That's awesome though. That's definitely good to hear. Good to hear that you enjoyed it.
I recorded the session. I was like, this is fire. I go to the voice memos on my watch and I hit record. I have it on my watch.
Oh, is that good?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Shit. Say less. Yeah. Like I said, send me the link next Sunday. I'll hop on. I'll listen to it.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If they live stream, even better. That'll be perfect.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it next time, because I'm sure trust me, you're gonna be like, yo, that pastor is that dude. And what I liked about him is that he was entertaining too. He had little jokes here and there, kept the audience like involved. I was like, oh, this guy's the truth. Breaks down everything to a T. I was like, can't ask for more, especially if you're into this type of shit. And just to kind of give my last words before you kind of take us home. Fire episode, bro. We had good topics here, and we were kind of passionate. You could hear it in our voices. This is one of those where, we kind of keep escalating. You know what I'm saying? Little by little, and it almost seems as if we do an episode and that one becomes my new favorite episode. And then next week comes and it's the same thing. And I think that's a recipe for success. So we got to keep it up, bro. It's it's awesome.
the topics are definitely getting better, man. Like every week by week, I feel like we're just getting something better and better and better. So yeah, I agree. I think this was a great episode, man. I think we discussed some important things. Things that we're dealing with in our daily lives, and just life, man. I think it's dope. So I agree with you on that one.
Oh yeah, and appreciate you taking the time to kind of get this episode out. I mean, I don't really mean out. I mean just kind of shoot the episode because I know you're going to be busy in the next week or so in St. Louis. I believe it's St. Louis, right? Yeah, for work. So I mean, I'm glad we were able to get it out because I didn't want to get into a state in which now we were going to go another week without content. So a good one to come back to, like I said, man. So thank you.
No doubt, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a midday Sunday, but hey, we got it done.
And I don't know if you noticed, bro, but we're getting a lot better with the talking.
For sure, yeah. No, I think
bro, I was a hot mess those first couple episodes, bro. Just was not it. I can't stand those episodes.
I mean, yeah, bro, you kind of have to get your feet wet, dog. It's you don't just get in front of a camera and then just think you're gonna be fucking great. Like, it takes a little bit. I mean, right now we're in episode 21, and I still think there's a few things that I can work on myself to kind of be a little bit more natural in front of the camera, right? So. But eventually it's just gonna be natural, dude. Like when once that happens, I mean, at that point, the sky's the limit, dude. So, but yeah, bro. Anyways, hey, appreciate y'all for watching as always, man. Harry, again, it was a dope episode, dog. Thank you for doing this with me, man. I'm always grateful for you and for our conversations. Yeah, man. So like I said earlier, I'm excited to see you in a couple weeks, brother. So it's definitely gonna be a good one. For the audience, again, thank you for showing support. For those that are always been there since day one, we appreciate y'all. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like button for us, and leave a couple comments. Let us know what you think. And obviously, as always, subscribe to the channel so you can see a little bit more of us. If that's really all I got for y'all for today, man. I appreciate y'all again. Peace, love, and positivity as always, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.